I hate you.
And oh man, here we go. Hey,
I'm serious now, I promise.
okay, good. Okay, here we go. You ready? Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. Stop it. Another episode of Nightmare Road. Of course, how do I sound? Still good? I got this.
Yes, you're.
I got, I got this this new mic that you can't see because it's dark. But anyways, welcome to another episode of Nightmare. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Decon, here with the very macabre, very disgusting, very in pain.
The Oracle.
And today we have
Why are you sitting in the dark, by the way?
I because when you're in the dark, you can like focus more on your thoughts. You know, you're kind of in a setting where my light bulb burned out. Anyway, so so yeah, so today's episode is on a topic that because everybody has seen those EVP videos, right? And I with EVPs, I don't know where I'm at with them, like because there's a lot of them where if people, because I tried listening to these right without watching the video, just listening, and I can't like make anything out that they're talking, and it's that old thing where when somebody's like, you're gonna hear, you're gonna be gone, and then they play it and it's like, and it's like, I heard it right there. He said, I want you gone, whatever. And it's just because your brain like knows what to look for, like what you're listening for, and then they kind of like put it together, right? So
well, that's why I'm skeptical. Shut up. I can't talk, okay? I host a podcast and I can't even talk. But yeah, I'm very skeptical on a lot of them.
Yeah, there's some that are like really crystal clear, which again, I'm like, okay, this sounds really good. But then the skeptic in me is kind of like, this is too good. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Why is it so clear when it probably shouldn't be?
So today's topic is on celebrity EVPs. Because there's people out there that they do the EV. Okay, there's a lot of guys out there that are doing celebrity EVPs, and a lot of them, my mindset is, if you're at home, right? Because it's this guy's at home, right? One of the guys. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to mention a specific person, but they're sitting at home, and then they're like, "Can you hear me there, Ronald Reagan? Ronald Reagan, can you come through?" And then you're like, "Tear down this wall." And he's like, "There it is, Ronald Reagan." I'm like, "How the hell did you get Ronald Reagan to come through?" You know what I mean? Like out of your house.
Well, and it's like, why is this, big name person contacting you of all people?
You of
Like,
all
what
people.
is so special about you? There are so many paranormal investigators out there. What is so special about you for them to contact you?
Yeah, and it's just like it's just one of those things where I'm like, fuck, they're like, are you lying to us? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, are you? It's just one of those things. But then again, you just never know. What if he's the guy? You know how everybody knows that guy? What it's like, what do you need to get? Oh, I know a guy that can get that for you. What if in the afterlife? What if in the afterlife he's like, man, I really want to talk about how much I hate this motherfucker, and it's like, I wish I know a guy. Just follow
I
me.
know a guy you can talk to.
Yeah, it's this guy over here. It's like, you little bitch, and it's like, oh, did you hear that? That's Little Richard. So, I just got Martin Luther King on there. I'm telling you,
Richard.
I have a dream that you'll take a shower. Just.
Oh my God.
That sounded like a mixture between Martin Luther King and like JFK. I'm telling you this right now.
Maybe the black version of JFK.
Got an afro, and then he's like, "I'm gonna kick you in the balls." Anyway.
Thick accent.
Yeah. What his story is a really interesting one. But we're not going to get into JFK. JFK's family, they were
that's a whole other story.
Well, yeah, I mean there were mobsters. It's a good one. There were mobsters. The dad sold moonshine. back when it was illegal, back when there was a prohibition going on. He was a moonshiner, and he loaded up those little cars. That's where NASCAR comes from. Did you know that?
Good man.
Yeah. So eventually he got the mob, to vote for his son. And they became rich from selling liquor and by doing favors for the mob. But then they wanted their kids to behave more acceptable, to act a certain way. And there was a girl, I think her name might have been Rosemary. I could be completely wrong, but she was their wildest daughter. This girl was wild. I mean, she was always like smiling all big. They told her, and then they took her in to lobotomize her. And yeah, when the lobotomy first came out, and they're like, she's too crazy, and they're like, I can put a spike through her eye and scramble her brain a little bit, and then it'll make her behave. And then she was sitting in a chair drooling for the rest of her existence, and she was only like 22, I think.
Would that make you behave?
Would that make me behave?
Yeah, if we did a lobotomy.
No, good luck. You can't drive a spike through me. You kidding me? You know who I am? Yeah, good luck.
I'm not convinced, but okay.
They call me Deacon Stalin. Deacon, the man of steel. Anyway, so really quick, do you know the name? Yeah. Okay, let's get into the show. Do you know the name of the? Do you know the name of the channel that we're going to be using? Credit to this channel. Everything we have is from this guy. It's not us. We didn't go out there and like collect EVPs.
What's his name? I'm sorry. Hold on. So the channel is called, it is Huff Paranormal.
Huff Paranormal.
Who I was talking about earlier. Yeah. So he, like, from what I'm gathering, I've never heard of this guy till today, but apparently he's really big in the paranormal community, at least on YouTube. He has like 1-point-something million followers on here.
Yeah, because he's got, like, if you look at his playlist, it's like a list of celebrities that have come to talk to him. He's like,
exactly. It is literally all celebrities. And I mean, if he ever listens to this, I want more proof.
Yeah. You should.
No offense, friends.
Yeah, come on. I want you to.
Do you want me to show it?
Yeah. Okay. Let's get that. Who do you have first?
Okay. Well, this is the only one I have. I told you I only have one. This one, okay. So let me explain myself first because my followers on TikTok might be watching. Okay. I do not condone contacting celebrities when they have recently passed. I do not condone it. I'm not a fan of it. Okay. But it has been about a month or so. So I feel maybe it's a little okay. I'm just one of those people. When people have recently passed, you don't need to contact them already. Allow them a little time to rest.
I don't give a shit. Go ahead and contact them.
Anyways, so this guy from Huff Paranormal claims that Ozzy Osbourne contacted him.
Okay.
So this is what we have from it.
Okay, let's see.
Let's press play here.
It was a test. See, they use both. The light was a test. I don't understand that. You were tested with the light. Did you go into the light?
Oh, whoops, sorry.
No, that wasn't Ozzy.
Hold on, it's not done yet.
It got on. With the light, did the light surround you, Ozzy? Did you go back home to the light? Ozzy, now you're in the light now. I feel it. You should see the goosebumps on me, guys.
That's
I feel
not
light
Ozzy.
energy here. That means
so he's made this himself. That sounds like him.
No, it doesn't. He's speaking clearly.
You're gone from the physical, but you're here. Your soul, your light,
I thought the
your
gone
energy
sounded like Ozzy.
here. Do you have a message for Sharon? I'm Steve. He just said my name. Thank you.
See, so like it's things like that. He has created his own device to contact people. But here's the thing. Here's where I want more proof. How do we know you didn't pre-record things, slow them down a little bit, distort them a little bit, and then put it in this device? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay, if it was Ozzy, because to you it sounded like Ozzy in some of those moments, right?
It does a little bit, but not 100%.
So, like, let's pretend, right, that you're taking an EVP and I'm Ozzy and I've come through to give you a message, okay? I want you to go beep when the recorder's on, okay?
Beep.
and then
I'm waiting for it.
and then the subtitles.
Sharon.
Not even that. When he said Sharon, he didn't even say Sharon. He said, "Ah," you know. And so it sounded. You ever watch Futurama?
Yes.
Do you remember the old guy, the guy with the thick glasses? He was like the professor. He was the professor.
Vaguely. It's been a long time since I've
Yeah, it sounded like the professor if multiple people were kicking him in the stomach. That's what Ozzy sounded like. So if somebody was recording that and then they put up the subtitles for what you're gonna hear, it's all like a bunch of question marks, and it's like, right, that sounds like Ozzy.
Well,
That's what he sounded like on the show.
One that I saw, like it was Robin Williams.
That one's weird.
That one, I don't know.
Because he didn't say much, and it's like, Robin Williams, is this you? And it's like, fuck.
Well,
You know,
yeah, fuck. It's like, did he really? I don't see Robin Williams just like randomly saying that word unless he like had to.
Well, but also like when they were. So I suspended my disbelief for a minute, and I'm like, okay, let's listen to what Robin Williams has to say. And
hold on, do we need to write this on the calendar? You suspended your disbelief for a minute. That does not happen often. I feel this needs to be noted somewhere.
I wish I died on a car fire. So
you don't get that luxury. Sorry.
So I ended up suspending my disbelief, and I'm like, let's hear what Robin Williams. I was expecting more Robin Williams type of shit, like hey, what's that over here? I'm over there. You know,
like Elvis.
No, Elvis is more like, hey there, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, mama? What do we got going on over there? You know, that's Elvis. Robin Williams. Robin Williams is more like this. He's more like, Peter Pan, let's fly away with me, Wendy. Help me. You know. So anyway, so when you listen to what he was saying, he said something like, it's hot. You know, fuck, you know, and then they're like, Robin.
Oh, yeah. And then I got it wrong.
And it's like, are you okay? And then he's like, I got it wrong. Help, you know, and then he's like,
I was like, yeah. That part gave me chills when it says I got it wrong.
It's creepy, huh? It's like, I got it wrong.
Yeah, because like everybody knows he committed, the thing. I'm not going to say it on our channel because I don't want YouTube to like do anything.
He's self-deleted.
Yes, he self-deleted. But was it an overdose?
No, he hung himself.
That's right.
That's
I wonder why he would say I got it wrong.
I don't know, but and then this, I don't know if it's this guy that was on there, but he was kind of like, I hope that Robin. That's what he sounds like to me. Well, I hope that Robin, I hope that he's at peace. Does it sound like he's at peace?
No, I mean you would hope so, but I don't think he is.
But it's just one of those things where, you know how everybody talks about a family member as if they're, you know, in a good place in the afterlife. You never know. Like, you never know where they're going to end up. So there's a great quote out there by but I think it's by C.S. Lewis, who said, The one thing, if I go to heaven, he says, the one thing that I will probably experience is I will not see people that I expected to be there, and I will see people I never expected to see there. You know what I mean? And like that's a deep quote
I
because
can see that though.
yeah, he's go over there and he's like, I expect to see so and so, and it's like, oh no, he's not here. So what do you mean he's not here? And then you see somebody else, and you're like, I didn't think you were gonna be here, and yet here you are. You know, so
Hey.
so, but it's just like it just goes to show, like you never know because a lot of us, you know, like I've talked to people, they're like, your great grandfather is watching you. You know, your great great uncle is watching you from up there. I'm like, or from down there. You know,
I
just
hate
like
when people say that shit.
he's might be looking up at you. You know, and I can
I was
imagine
like,
getting
you don't know if they're watching me from up there. What if they're standing right there? Or what if
or
they're where I'm probably headed?
they're in hell. You know, just like
Mhm.
you know, and it's just one of those things where you like use a Ouija board or an EV, like one of those Frank boxes, and then you're like,
Yeah.
hey, what do you have to say? And they're like, it's fucking hot, help. You know,
I belong in the heat. I'll go down.
it's like it's like you have no you remember this movie? You have no idea what they have the thermostat out here, Nikki. It's hotter than two
Yeah,
mice fucking in a wool sock. So it's
such a great movie.
so it's just one of those things where like you just don't know. And that whole thing with Robin Williams was so creepy, you know. And another one that I listened to was Marilyn Monroe, and I think she said help,
Oh, hers
right?
breaks my heart. Yep,
Because damn,
that
like
one breaks me.
because she was a person that I mean was
She was a person that was taken advantage of.
she was ran through that machine of Hollywood, and then just there's a there's a great book out there.
So sad.
It's by Isaac Weishaupt, and it's called the Kubrick Code, and he basically is talking about the Illuminati and all these like demonic rituals that Hollywood does, and how
Hmm.
he hid all these things in these books. So when you look at somebody like Marilyn Monroe, who was very outspoken, you know, for example, that whole happy birthday to the president because she was banging JFK and his brother. Um,
Get it, girl.
yeah, that whole happy birthday thing, people were like, I don't think she was supposed to do that. But
Mm-mm.
but I mean, but then in the end, they ended up whacking her, and it's like, well, there's consequences, you know. So they ended up just, offing her. So
She was living her life.
yeah, but geez, but then people talk about that how when they would encounter Marilyn Monroe, like she would like cake on makeup because she just had these huge bags under her eyes,
Hmm.
and she was very like sad. How like all the time she was just so sad, and then
Well, yeah.
she was like getting passed around, and you know
She was
she was
probably
just
one of the smartest people alive. In all
oh
honesty, she had a bigger IQ than freaking Einstein. She was
yeah,
so smart.
well I'd beat her ass. But it's but it's one of those things where well Einstein I'm not very impressed. He never well he never
He's
learned.
such an ass.
Well, I mean, when you look at Albert Einstein, number one, he never learned to drive a car, even though he paid many people. He just couldn't get it. Number two, he never learned to tie his shoes. You know,
You know what? I think driving is overrated. I prefer to be a passenger princess, so I'm with him on that one.
well, no, it wasn't by choice because they say that he paid a lot of money to have different instructors try to teach him. He just couldn't grasp it. It just wasn't part of his. Some people are just have a different type of intelligence.
You know what? I'm gonna give him some credit here. I cannot drive a stick shift either, and back then, that's all there was. That's hard. So you know what? I'm with him on that one.
Anyway, so
No,
so
I
back
can't
so
drive a stick
so
shift. Sorry.
so back to Maryland. She frequented this hotel, and this was like her best. So this was one of those hotels where people were expecting her to go.
Was it the Roosevelt?
I don't remember. It could have been, but
I
this was
want to
like
say it is. Correct me
yeah.
if I'm wrong.
Um, so this was a place where people would say that she would check in, and people expected partying and all kind, but there wasn't,
Mhm.
just quiet. you know, and this was like her place where she would just go and then just keep to herself. You know, it's almost like she rented this hotel room just to get away from everybody. And she
It
would
was
rent
for Roosevelt, by the way.
and
I just did that.
and she would rent it under an alias, right? She rented under
Mhm.
an alias. She would go, and then a lot of the people that were around, they say that she was just sad. She would go there and just hang out by herself. So then there's stories about how um, cleaning people will go to that hotel room, and then they'll be cleaning, and then they can hear like her talking, or somebody saw her in a mirror. Somebody just saw her like standing behind, like a blonde woman, and turned around, no one was there.
Or she's
There's
like doing her makeup in the mirror.
or she's doing her makeup in a mirror. I've heard that. I've heard that there's people that have had EVPs, and one of the EVPs said something like, "Please just leave me alone." You know, and it was just like, damn, you know, and it's just
It's
so
so sad.
well, it's sad. I mean, like when you look at a character like her, like, and then you look at her on camera, it's almost like the Robin Williams thing, like how he
Mhm.
had this persona where he's like, "Hey everybody, look at me, I'm and then he's like, "I'm Peter Pan," you know, and then he would do like all these things. But then people were saying that he was very like a very
He's so
sad individual.
sad.
Yeah, he was a sad person. There's actually two great songs that I like, and it reminds me of Robin Williams. One of them, they're both named the same thing, by the way. It's called "Tears of a Clown." One of them is by, I think it's Smokey Robinson, I think is his name, and that's a good song. And then Iron Maiden has another one. Iron Maiden has a "Tears of a Clown." That one's a really good one. One of the quotes from the song is "All alone in a crowded room," you know, and it's just one of those things where, you know, that's what he would tell people. He was like, damn, he says, nothing is worse than surrounding yourself with people that make you feel alone, you know. And
Flower needs to make her presence known.
who does?
My cat.
Oh, ah,
I locked
jeez.
her out and she got stabbed.
So it's just one of those things where I would like to see more celebrity EVP. It's like, just give me something. But I don't know, this guy, I don't want to like slander him or whatever, but like his playlist is just like him contacting celebrities, and it's like, oh,
That's literally all it is.
Kurt Cobain, you know, like Kurt Cobain is here, and you know, what do you have to
Michael
say?
Jackson was a big one that he did
Oh
too.
yeah, that one I tried to listen to, but I couldn't like understand what he was saying. All I heard was a hee hee, and I was like, okay, I guess you know.
I don't know. I'm on the fence with Michael Jackson as a person, period. So
Why?
I don't know about him.
Why? Because he's black?
No, because well, he was kind of a perv. I'm sorry, having a Neverland Ranch, that's just creepy.
So was Johnny Depp and Tim Burton.
We are not getting into this
Oh,
debate.
wait a minute.
We are not getting into this debate right now.
So you're saying you're saying, oh, look at you. It depends who's the pervert. That's so disgusting. Anyway, so no, so it's just one of those things where you like look at Michael Jackson. That's another person, man, where people were saying that again. I wonder if a lot of these people that had those EVPs were generally sad. You know, like they lived sad lives, and it's like, what is going on? Do you think that? And again, I'm going back to, you know, disbelief out the window, just for the sake of this argument. Do you think that if they were people that were happy in life, they would just cross over and like not even bother because they're fulfilled? You know what I mean? They're fulfilled.
Yes.
They're fulfilled, and they're like, well, I did what I did. I'm happy with it, and they leave. Compared to the people that hang around because there's some. It's kind of like that person that he has to hang around his high school, and he's like hanging, and it's kind of creepy, and it's like, dude, just let it go, you know. And he keeps hanging around, and
he can't let his football stardom just go. And
yeah,
he has to hang around and just fulfill it every day.
Yeah, and then he goes and he tries to hang out with the kids. He's like, "Hey, kids, how are you guys? You know, get the hell out of here."
Creepy.
Yeah, get out of here, Tim Burton. Anyway, so it's just one of those things where it's like all these people that were just so sad and they just hung around. And I wonder why. Like if you were so sad in this life, why try to stick around? Do you think that it's like that person that tells you like don't make the same mistakes that I, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, or do you think that they're scared to move forward because life is just like
That was hard.
because that goes back to the Robin Williams. Like, what is it? I was wrong, or I had it all wrong.
Mm, I'll use this as an example. So me and my mom, we went with some friends that were having a medium go to their house and stuff. And my mom's always wanted to be contacted by her mom, my Grammy.
Mhm.
And the medium said, like, the reason she said, first she asked my mom, did you and your mom ever leave anything unsaid? Or did you guys have the kind of relationship where you told each other everything? Like, that kind of question.
Yeah.
I think my mom answered along the lines of, like, of course I told my mom everything. She was my best friend, etc. And she said something along the lines of, that's why she doesn't come through, because
Oh,
she did not leave anything unsaid between you two or anybody else in her life. So she stands in the background and observes instead.
wow. See, that makes a lot of sense because again, it's like, when you have a shit relationship with somebody that you're supposed
Mhm.
to care about, and then
You
you
want to
die,
patch it. And
and
if
then
you
you're like,
die and you don't patch it, then
you just hang
it's like, it's the
around.
whole unfinished business theory.
Yeah, they hang around because they feel like something
Mhm.
has to be, and compared to the person that's accomplished, and he's like, well, take it easy, guys. And then
Exactly.
a lot of them is also, they leave and they know that everybody's okay because they did a good job. They, taught somebody responsibility. It's like, you got this. I can leave. It's kind of like going on vacation, and you have a responsible person. You're like, I can go on vacation and I know everything's in good hands, so I'm not even gonna worry. You can just go, and you almost forget, about you almost forget about the house, you almost forget about the pets, you forget about everything
Yeah.
because you're just like, because everybody's compared to if you leave it and like, fuck, this person is such a flake, and you're like, I gotta call, like, hey, did you even show up? Hey, are you there? Like, is everything okay? Is everybody dead? Is there, and I wonder if it's the same thing, right? Like when you pass on, and then you're like,
Well,
damn.
and I've had people argue with me and say, well, what about the people who delete themselves? We'll say, well, they obviously were going through something. They obviously were having problems, and obviously that's unsolved. So why wouldn't they still be here? It's unsolved. They left something undone.
Yeah, and they're afraid because they're like, damn, because in
Exactly.
that in that moment also, what is that quote? It says when somebody does something like that, like you're not solving your problems, you're just passing it on to somebody else. And I wonder if
Mhm.
in that moment when something like that happens, if that's their mindset, like, "Ah, man, I shouldn't have done that, and then they're kind of like hang around and they're like, are you guys
Mhm.
okay? Like, are you guys okay?
Well, with the Robin Williams thing, where he said I got it wrong, maybe that's why he said I got it wrong.
Because he
Maybe as he, okay, as morbid as this sounds, Ashland's getting dark. Sorry, guys. As morbid as this sounds, when he was coming down, maybe he was regretting it.
like at the last moment, he's like, I should
Yeah.
have.
He was like, oh, wait, oh, nope, just kidding.
It's like yeah, damn.
That
It's just
was dark. I'm sorry. That was so
no,
dark. Oh my
no.
God.
It's not even
Jesus.
that. It's not even that. I mean, it's just like the
Sorry,
concept
guys.
of the you do something for your what you think is what's best for yourself, and then you just realize like, damn, I just fucked everybody
Just
over.
kidding. Maybe I shouldn't fuck my
Yeah,
life over because I'm having such a hard time in this moment.
yeah, and then that's how you get those EVPs. Like maybe that's what the whole fuck thing was about. It's just like, damn.
Maybe he said that in like the last few seconds.
Yeah, you just never know. You
Oh,
just
that's really sad.
well, I mean,
Oh,
yeah, it's like, oh, listen to those songs, guys. They're perfect.
are you
But
serious?
it's just one of it's just some of those. And there's also people that claim that when they went to Robin Williams' house, the TV would just turn on. And did you hear that story? The TV would turn on and they would put on like stand-up comedy, like Richard Pryor and people that were like his friends, And
I've also heard like with Ozzy Osbourne, let's see, what was it? There was someone that said that they made contact with him and one of his songs came on. I think it was Crazy Train came on like right after. And I was like, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, Crazy Train. And he was
all aboard.
All aboard. Yeah. But by that time, he's probably so out of it, he had no idea that was his song. He was probably like, and he had no idea.
You didn't see that one video?
No. He's probably like, and it's like, I hate rap music. Anyway, so
it's just, I gotta pull this up. Keep talking. I gotta pull this up and show you now. I can't believe you didn't see it.
Oh, you can't play an actual song.
No, it's not gonna be the song. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so it's just a lot of those things. But then when you're one of those people that all you do, we also don't know how long this guy has been sitting there. We're over here shitting on him, like, yeah, right. What if he just sat there for hours and he was like, Robin Williams, Robin, are you there? Like we don't.
That's what I think.
We should have that guy on and just like interrogate him. Like, look, dude, we think you're a fucking fraud. It's like
see what he says. Maybe we'd get more viewers.
Yeah, I don't want more viewers. I think we're good. It's like we think you're a lying drunk. And can you imagine just attack him? No, but it's just one of those things where, again, you ever seen that movie White Noise?
I love that movie.
Do you remember how
fantastic movie
when he had all those TVs and he was just like obsessing over it?
Oh, didn't he have like, oh my gosh, multiple TVs in his living room, and he was like, "Oh, this one's doing this."
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right one?
I wonder if
like spirits were coming out of the TV, like you could see the outlines of them in the static.
I don't remember. I just remember the TVs, and he was kind of like, "Oh, I heard somebody," And I wonder if that's just one of those things where when these people pass, if they're just going to stick around, because again, like they just couldn't move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're
like the spirits that you have from like the 1800s, etc., like clearly they have not moved on.
Yeah, but from the 1800s, it's like, geez, dude, just get together. Because
Can you imagine what spirits from our generation are going to be like?
Yeah, it depends where you're from too, like what region.
I think we're just gonna be a bunch of assholes.
Not me, bro.
You'll be the biggest one.
No, I wouldn't. I'll just play prank. You know how like when you die and you're able to suppose you could take the shape of whatever you want.
I'm going to be a cat, and I am going to go to your house and drive you crazy because you're not a fan of cats.
I'm going to take like the form of like the typical, like, okay, so the ghost with the bed sheets, like the one behind you. I'm gonna take that form, except that I'm gonna make like the tip of the head of the ghost pointy. It'd be pointy.
That's terrible. What is wrong?
And then when people are like, "Is somebody here?" and I'll be like, "Be careful, don't trip over my testicles." And it's like, "Oh man, look at that!" And it's just like, "Jeez," and just make them like super long, like where people can like get entangled. Like, oh man,
my gosh,
get entangled.
I apologize for this behavior.
Like in a construction zone, when you trip over the extension cord, and you're like, "Oh, geez, tie that thing up," No, but again, back to the again, back to the celebrities. Geez, also, did you hear about the different celebrities that have encountered like certain things? Like there was a good, who Eric Estrada is?
I've heard the name.
Okay, so he was like on the old show Chips. He's a Hispanic guy. He used to be in a lot of Spanish soap operas. He had this thing in the show Chips where he would smile and his teeth would go ching and they would shine. Anyway, he told this story about how he went to Spain, and in Spain he was bucked off a horse. Like this horse, like bucked him off, and he landed, he was bucked off this horse, landed all messed up, and then he says that he like couldn't move, and he was like this, like all stiff. He says that he couldn't straight because he landed on his head, and he heard a pop, and he's like, I broke my neck. Anyway, so he goes to stay at this hotel, which used to be a monastery. It had like nuns and all that kind of stuff. So he said that he was trying to sleep in bed and he couldn't get comfortable because like his neck wouldn't turn. And then he says that he looks at the window and he saw the shape of a woman, and she was like peering through his window. This is in the third story, by the way, third story building. She's peering through the window. And he said that he had like his neck turned and he couldn't like turn his neck to like get a good look. And then he says that next thing you know, like he just sees the hand, and like the hand covered his eyes. And she told him in Spanish, she said, "Vas a estar bien, no te preocupes." Actually, it was in Spain, so they do the lisp when they talk. So it's like, "Vas a estar bien, no te preocupes." So then he was like, which basically means like, don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. So then he was like, what are you talking? And he said so then he turned his neck like to see like what is going on. There was no one there. So he told the story to one of the old like maids, because she was like super old lady. And she was like, how did you sleep, Mr. Estrada? And he's like, can I tell you something? And she goes, yeah. And he was like, I had this experience last night where this woman, and she says, follow me. He goes, okay. So he follows her. And when he followed her, and then she was like, did you see her? And she pointed, he goes, yeah, that was her. And he said, that was Sister So-and-so. She was like the nurse of the place. She was like the old nurse of the facility. Creepy. So the fact that she came over and she's like, don't worry, you're going to be fine. All of a sudden, he wasn't in pain anymore. He said he had a little bit of pain. He said just like, but he could move. When the next day, the day before, he was just stiff because he got bucked off a horse. He couldn't move. She told him, you're going to be fine. And then some of the people that saw him said that he had like bruises from the gravel and all kinds of stuff. The next day, he took his shirt off and he's like, you have nothing. It was.
That's weird.
Yes, super creepy. But then he says that he will always remember that. He says every once in a while, he says that when he has like a migraine or something, and he's just laying there with a pillow over his face, trying to filter out all the light. If his headache begins to fade, he can almost, he said, feel that cold hand like over his face.
Oh, creepy.
So, yeah, man, look at that. That's crazy, huh? Like go the rest of your life.
There's quite a few celebrities that I know of that have encountered hauntings, though. Like back to Ozzy Osbourne, the house that was used in their reality show. That house was like extremely haunted, I guess.
Extremely haunted?
Yeah, you didn't know that? So
no.
I guess Sharon would see, don't bite flower or you're going back to the Humane Society. Anyways, Sharon would see a lady walk through their bedroom walls. Like she would go from one end of the bedroom to the other, and she was in like 1940s dress. And I guess Jack would experience like his bedroom door shutting on its own, something to do with his bathroom too. And I think Kelly had some experiences. I just discovered that today, actually.
And did they say like what was going on?
I don't know if they ever had like an investigator over there. Who owns that house now? Someone owns it. Oh, who was it? Is it Madonna that owns it now?
Ew.
So yeah, and she like destroyed it too.
I was gonna say, so the house has AIDS.
Probably. how it looked amazing when the Osbournes were there. Yeah, it's like a pink hellhole now.
Wasn't what's his name? The son, Jack, wasn't he like obsessed with that girl from that movie, like Natalie Portman? He had like all these posters and he was creepy about it.
Probably, but I mean, who wasn't obsessed with Natalie Portman? I'm obsessed with Natalie Portman. It's fine.
I wasn't. I think she looks gross. I think
She's so pretty.
no, I think she looks like a shaved cat. But anyway.
Hey, you know what? I like naked cats too, so it's fine.
She looked like those Egyptian cats, the ones that were like you see in the
Sphinx.
It's gross.
Beautiful.
She looks like she stinks. She looks like if you touch her, she'd be sticky. Anyway, so I wonder, like, if was it that they confirmed that it was the house, or did they think that it was them?
No, I'm pretty sure it was the house.
There was I forget who it was. It was a band member. Was it the guy from Poison? But he was talking about how he kept seeing like a little girl or something in his house, and then he's like, this place is haunted. So he moved out and went somewhere else, and then he kept seeing her, and he's like, what is going on? Even overseas he was seeing her. And then well, yeah, so when they asked him, like, when did you start seeing this little girl? And then he was like, I started seeing her, he says, like, this day. Like, that's when this whole thing started. I had a nightmare, and then I kept seeing her. And then they're like, well, where did you go? He says, I went here. What did you do anything? Did you buy anything? He says, the only thing I remember buying is, he says, this necklace. And it was like a weird necklace that was like, I think it was an ember or something. And there was like a tiny little tooth in it. So they told him to get rid of the So the moment that he got rid of this necklace, it's like the day that everything stopped. And it was almost like,
I'm sure.
I wonder if it was like this, like, that's my, you know what I mean? But then, like, what did you do with it? Did you destroy it?
That sounds like a hex to me.
Did you throw it in a landfill, and now there's like a spirit of a little ghost just walking around this landfill?
Idea to do with human teeth, but okay.
But then you just gotta you just gotta remember that it's people are weird, and maybe this was one of those ways of whoever owned the necklace. Maybe it was the parents. Maybe they're like, this is a way to remember her. Maybe this is because remember, even back then, they would take pictures of dead bodies. You know,
they would take pictures like with the dead body. Like they would stand up the body and like pose with him and be like, hey, look, it's Uncle Bill.
And then they would take like
he died last week.
Yeah, well, you didn't know they were dead because they would take the eyes and they would kind of stitch them to like make them open. And then they had like and then they had like a steel like frame where they would kind of like wire them to it and just make them pose.
Can you imagine like being a little kid and having like, you know, being in your room playing with your toys all innocent, like, and your mom.
What the hell was that?
Me playing with toys.
You playing with toys?
I don't know.
It sounds like you were playing with. It looks like you're playing with marionettes, and you're like, oh, you know. Like...
Maybe I was, okay. I was a strange child, but imagine your mom coming in, okay, and being like, "Hey, we gotta go take a family picture with Uncle Bob. I thought Uncle Bob died. He is dead, but we gotta take our last family picture with him." Like, can you imagine how freaking creepy that would be?
Yeah, they just like weekend at Bernie's him. He's wearing the sunglasses.
Squeezing together, you guys.
But I think that also at the time, I think death was just such a part of life that I think that no one minded. What makes me sad is when you see those family, when you see the family portraits and you see like the little kids, you know, and like the little kids are dead. You know, that's so heartbreaking. Where they're holding like a little.
So much.
Yeah, back then, geez, it's I think we talked about it last week about how back then in that era, you know, you buried more kids than you raised. Like even around the time of the 1800s, it says that a woman would normally, also depends on the region, but like in medieval Europe or the 1800s, the Victorian age, all those kind of places, they say that a woman would have to give birth to 10 kids just to have 2 of them make them to adulthood. Like that's
well, and then the woman's risking her life as well by having those kids.
Yeah, and it was just
like you have no medical care. If something goes wrong, you're fucked.
yeah, and it was well, I mean, they had midwives, and I mean that was the thing, but I mean,
yeah, but can a midwife, like, if your uterus is flipped inside out, can they do something about that? Probably not.
well, can doctors do anything about that now?
Probably not. But they
No,
would probably be able to do a little bit more than a midwife.
I don't.
Midwives scare me.
I don't think so. Yeah, you know what's
No
interesting is talking about like in England when medieval not even medieval, like this was like 1930s, midwives were a big thing, and doctors, like modern doctors, they wanted them to like teach us how to deliver babies because they had no idea. What's interesting is
and now it's the other way around.
and then well, what ended up happening was once the midwives taught the doctors how to like deliver kids, and they're like, now we're gonna make your business illegal. And it was
I
just
was
like,
gonna say, wasn't being a midwife illegal for a long time and almost considered witchcraft for a long time too?
no, it's the it was known. Okay, so the term gossip actually comes from the midwifery. Women would go around town, they would spread the word that somebody was having a baby. What's interesting is that they had practices back then, which you look at them now and they made sense. Like, for example, what they would do is they would take a bottle of alcohol, like whiskey, rum, whatever it was, and then they would put it on the table with a cloth and they would just kind of like wipe it down. Now they would set the woman on the bed, they would set the woman on the table wherever they're delivering the baby. When doctors would see that, like when they were learning, they're like, why are you doing that? And it says, well, because this has to be cleaned. And they're like, from what? And they're like, from bacteria, like not even from bacteria, little things that can crawl inside your womb. They're like, that's what are you talking about? That's not
They're
possible.
gonna make her really sick and die.
Yeah, but they didn't know that until there was a guy named Dr. Lister. That's where we get Listerine from. Because back then we talk about doctors, back then doctors would reuse their tools and they wouldn't even wash them. They're like, why bother washing them? They're just gonna get dirty
They're gonna
again.
get dirty anyway. You're gonna get blood on it anyway.
So a lot of the doctors back then, if you were a patient and you had all these things happen to you, they actually would die of an infection. Like they would maybe help you, but then you would die from gangrene or an infection. Midwives would coat wounds and everything in alcohol, like bottles of alcohol, just to like make sure I just hit my mic, just bottles of alcohol to make things. That's not nice. To make things like clean. So these people were so ahead of time. But anyways, we got it's completely off topic. I'm 100% for midwives. I don't trust the medical field. Why? So they can experiment on you, so that they can steal your organs.
It's getting stolen anyway.
The what?
It's getting stolen anyway, so
No,
might as well take it.
No, I mean, if you were viable, some places have they've rated them because the hospitals, if you
I'm
sign the
not a
don't.
viable human.
Anyway, so imagine if you deliver a child, right? And your child dies, and you're like, fuck, this is kid number 9, the heartbreak where you may not want to let it go,
Oh.
And yeah, you may not want to let it go. So of course you're taking the pictures. Everybody bunch in. We're taking the picture and holding the little gray baby, because you just can't, like, you just can't cope with it. And then, your kid gets sick, something happens, and then your child dies, and you're like, this one was 7 years old, and all that kind of stuff. And then you can't let it go. So maybe that's when you're like, I want to keep the baby teeth, make it into a necklace because I want to remember this child, and then there's an attachment to that item. And then some jackass 100 years later finds it at a pawn shop and he's like, I want to buy this, and then puts it on, and then he has this little thing following him around.
Okay, I love my children. I do. But once those teeth fall out, I honestly don't know where they end up. So that's really gross that people would keep it in a necklace.
Yeah, but again, I mean, now imagine if
Oh,
Not
gross.
well, now you can take pictures, you can take all these things. Back then, you really didn't have like anything to preserve a
Are
memory.
you supposed to take pictures of their teeth when they fall out?
No, I mean the child.
Oh, I was like, what?
No, I mean the child, because again,
Terrible, Mom.
we're talking about like 100 years ago, right? Or like let's say 200 years ago. If somebody
I
dies,
wouldn't want to keep
well,
somebody's teeth.
if someone dies, that person only lives in your memory, and they're like, that's it. Like, there's no pictures, there's no cell phone pictures, there's nothing. That person's gone. Now imagine if you've been wanting to like have kids and you can't have them, they keep dying, they keep doing all these things, and the hair.
Keep some of their hair instead. Cut the hair, braid it, and keep their hair. That's a little bit better than teeth.
That's where these come in.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
actually, this is human hair.
You know what? When I die, I'm going to put it in my will to have a little jar of my teeth delivered to your doorstep by a black balloon.
Yeah, and feed it to the chickens. They need calcium in their diet. But I mean, that's when those little that's why when you buy a lot of these little dolls, they're already named. They've already named, and it's like, it has a name, and it goes, yeah. Why? Because when that person lost a child, they took that child's hair, put it into a doll, made a doll to look as close to the person as possible. And then some people believe, actually, a lot of people believe back then. I don't know if the belief is still the same now, but they believe that because of that, their soul is trapped in the doll, and that's how you
So
get.
I already have a porcelain doll that's supposed to be me. So I'm just going to have her hair replaced with mine so I can haunt people through a doll.
Well, yeah, you can do that. And what's
That
crazy
would be
is,
epic.
so there's another theory that if you're afraid of porcelain dolls, it's like if you find them creepy, if you find them uneasy, it's because in a past life your soul was trapped in a doll. You
I
know,
believe it.
and whenever you see the porcelain doll, you see a prison.
You want to know why I believe that though? Because
Why?
one, porcelain dolls are creepy, and two,
I
I'm
like them.
claustrophobic. So if you're putting me in a tight enclosed space like that, I'm gonna be pissed off. So that's
Oh,
pretty good way to do
yeah,
it.
it's like somebody just moves around an
That's it.
anchor, and there's a rope, and the rope is like, the chain is around your waist, and you can only move around this anchor. That's what these dolls are. Like, the little spirit
Can
can
you
only go.
imagine if somebody were to put like Jim Morrison in a doll and have him haunt a doll? I want that doll.
A Jim Morrison doll.
Yeah.
Jim Morrison, like when he was young, or like the later, like
He was always young. He died young.
when he was, no, young Jim Morrison, like when he
Died
was
at like
fresh faced.
27. He's a
Wait,
27 Club
no,
member.
when he was young, and like when he was like fresh faced and everything was like, wow, the world is great, or like
When he had a baby
20,
face?
26-year-old Jim Moore, just worn out from drug use and just miserable,
Give
and
me 24.
scratching his head until like clumps of his hair were falling out.
Give me 24-year-old Jim Morrison.
Is that a good? I thought 2022 was a good Jim Morrison when he got dark.
24, because he's just like, he's into the partying stage and he's having fun, but he still looks good.
Yeah, but that's when his teeth started to fall out.
Not at 24.
Yeah, because that's like when he got heavy into drugs.
I would say no, he was always heavy into drugs.
No, 2022. That's like before he like did the mild stuff, and he was like into his, you know what I mean?
When
Like
he was just smoking marijuana and not doing acid every day.
doing acid and like whatever you brought, over, like that's.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, Jim Morrison.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe that's like one of those clubs we gotta do, like the 27 Club, because there's a lot of
That
them.
would be a good one to dive into.
Yeah, we kind of. Yeah, it's just so
Amy Winehouse is in there.
Yeah, that one was crazy. And
Was
is there
Hendrix a part of that club too?
Jimmy, I don't think so.
No, not Jimi Hendrix. Who else is a part of that club? There's a lot. We need to do a deep dive on that.
On the 27th Club?
That's a good conspiracy theory to deep dive into.
But is that paranormal?
It's macabre.
Do we cover macabre?
What?
I thought macabre was more
true. We do weird shit.
Damn, but yeah, that would be well. Actually, we can because there was a lot of like devil worship and all these kind of like weird things surrounding it. So it's
It is a big conspiracy theory.
Yeah, so it's paranormal. Yeah, we can cover that. Let's see what else. Damn, it's so depressing when you look into these things because when you look at celebrities and then they're like doing EVPs, you're like, damn, what kind of demons did you have? You know, like because
do we want to get into that conspiracy too?
Because Marilyn Monroe, like, damn, like that poor lady. Could you imagine? You know, because a lot of people were
Demi Lovato. She's lucky she survived.
Demi Lovato, who's she?
She is the Disney Club. She was on Barney. She did Disney Club. She got hooked into drugs early on in her Disney years. I think the first time she did cocaine was at like 17 years old.
Jeez.
And she overdosed on heroin and made it like a huge thing because she wanted her story out there so nobody else would do it. You need to watch her biography. It's really good.
Yeah, that we should do one on the Disney Club. That it seems like everybody that's a member of the Disney Club ended up fucked up, right? It was end up like with something.
Not everybody.
Like who was a member of the Disney Club? That's okay.
Hillary Duff.
Who's that? Oh, that's that one girl.
Lizzie McGuire. Sorry, I really liked that show when I was little.
I don't think I've ever seen that. There was another one on there.
Selena Gomez isn't. She didn't get fucked up too bad. She's not a druggie or anything.
But she's over there. She's over there crying about Mexicans, and like, then go to Mexico. Like, what are you doing crying? What are you doing crying over people getting deported? Like, if you really care about them that bad, why don't you go to Mexico with them?
Oh no!
But again, it's like I wonder what it is, right? Do you think there's rituals that are performed back? See, that's not even. This is a different show. Different topic. I mean, because we got to close out the show. So it's just like all those. You guys can go check it out. What's that show? What is that channel called? What'd you say?
Beyonce's the leader.
Beyonce?
Ooh, I gotta send you some shit.
Beyonce. Wow.
Oh, I gotta send you some shit now.
She's the one. She's the one married to.
Down that rabbit hole?
No, she's the one married to Jay-Z, right?
You have a rabbit hole to go down.
Jay-Z. Here we go. Cha boy.
Isn't it Jay-Z?
Yeah. Cha boy. Yeah, he does. He's like Illuminati, does like all that shit.
No, but you really do need to go down the Beyonce rabbit hole. Like that bitch.
Wasn't she part of a group?
Probably still is.
Okay.
She's the reason Aaliyah's dead. She's the reason freaking Don't get me started. We're gonna be here.
Oh yeah, she was a member of that. She was a member of that band where we didn't know.
Destiny's Child.
I was gonna say we don't know the name of the children, but we do know the name of the mom. So anyway,
that's a bad sign.
So yeah. So this was a great episode. So check out, what is the guy that has all those EVPs? What is the name of that guy?
Huff Paranormal.
Huff Paranormal. Check that guy out. Like that video we played earlier, that's from that guy's channel. So yeah, go ahead and check him out. And when you check him out, just kind of put in the comments what you think about that shit.
He does ask people to put in the comments their opinions.
Put them on the comments on this channel, not on his channel.
Yeah, put your opinions on our channel instead. We'll we'll relay the message. We'll be the middleman.
No, I won't relay anything. I'll just keep them for myself.
No, he'll forget.
Yeah. Who, me?
Yes.
No, I said I won't relay anything. I'll just keep them to myself.
Yeah, you would forget to relay them anyway.
I wouldn't want to. I don't want that
Oh
responsibility.
my.
What am I, carrier pigeon? Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
be sure to check out our merch. Be sure to check out our merch. We got shirts, we got mugs, we have shorts now, we have hats, we have stickers. Put a sticker on a stop sign, put a sticker on a door, put a sticker on a hooker on the tram, put a sticker on your testicles, and then pull it up really quick. Rip it right off. Put a sticker on everything. Put a sticker on a ghost. If you see a ghost, and he's walking around and he's like, I need to tell you something, run over there and put a sticker on him.
Put a sticker on him.
Just put a sticker on him. Especially if you see them all like burning across a group of spooky ghosts. Just put a sticker on them.
Making me laugh.
On somebody's front lawn. So yeah, just go ahead and check that out. Loot by Lottie, check out our stuff. If you guys type in the message Lucky Loot, you guys can get 10% off your first purchase. The microphone's over here. 10% off. 10% off your first purchase. Shadow Nation. Go ahead and check out Shadow Nation with Sean Burris. Sean Burris, a really good friend of the show.
Oh, Static. He's putting out a new book.
Yeah, I was getting to that. Hold on.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Don't step on my advertisements. He's got a Groceries and Ghost, a survival of a single man. He's got this whole thing. It's a great show. That dude, I am thoroughly convinced he is going to be the next Art Bell. And I've said that to him. I'm like, dude, you're going to be the next Art Bell. And he's like, no, I'm not, bitch. And I'm like, trust me, you are. So yeah, Shadow Nation podcast. Check it out on YouTube. Like and subscribe to his stuff. What else? Static Voices. Check out his show. He's got new stuff coming out all the damn time. It's got legible items that will be emerging. Is it out yet or not yet?
Let me check. I think he said he was putting it out on Kindle first, and then hard copies would come later.
Okay, so never mind. It's out.
I asked him about it.
So go ahead, check him out. See what else is going on, and that's about it. And wait, we're gonna wait for the Oracle here to give us a definitive answer.
Sorry, it's not my fault. Oh, all it says is coming very soon. He doesn't have a date.
Oh, well, there you go. So, but it'll be out soon. We'll let you guys know whenever we hear it. I hope I get a free copy.
Yeah, he's cool. Cool enough to get a free copy, I guess.
The what?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I was talking shit about you again.
Why?
I don't know.
I always get the free merch. I always get the free merch from him. Anyway, so
I'm getting free merch from someone soon.
Anyway, who is it? Anything we need to promote?
Cross Country Paranormal. They're going to be on our. Well, he's going to be on our show next week.
How many people? One or two?
One
person. Okay. All right. We'll see what that person has to say. I haven't, honestly. I'll check them out. I haven't checked out anything.
I have sent you so much, and every time I send you something, all I see is sent. I get left undelivered all the time, you guys. It's fine.
I'm busy. I'm a busy person.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll get caught up. Sorry about that, but I'll get caught up. Anyways,
fine,
guys,
I get left on red and delivered every day.
So remember, guys. See, now I can't even do my outro because I can't concentrate. Remember, guys, to always look both ways, especially if you find yourselves on Nightmare Road.
Wow, that was kind of sultry. Bye, guys.